Hello everyone, this is Bernice from the Napping Mouse, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this two-page spread, scrapbook spread, that is using up some of my stash that I have. And this one here is from Arina's Garden Bow Bunny Press. This is about, I guess about 8 or 9 years ago, and I still had it, so I wanted to use it up, create this beauty right here. If I can find it, I'll have the link down below, but I'm just going through my stash, using it up, and created this. I also added flowers here, and I'll have that all linked down below. So if you're interested in looking at this, grab your favorite drink and let's get crafting. Okay folks, so the supplies that you'll be needing is 2 base 12 by 12 that you're going to use for the base. I am using Arina's Garden Petals, okay? And then you'll also need 2 12 by 12 for the background, and I'm using Arina's Garden Iron. And then you'll also need strips for the top. We're going to create another strip here for the top. And again, I'm using the same one, Arina's Garden in Iron. You'll need 12 by 12 for the mat. These are going to be the photo mats to create. And then also some kind of decorative page so you can fussy cut and put it around your spread, okay? You'll also need 1 doily, could be round. I'm using a heart. You'll need some flowers. I'm using Petaloo, and this one is in Magnolia in white. And any kind of trim that you want to use, ribbons, buttons, any other type of embellishments, those would work out, okay? And of course your photos. All right, let's get started. Yes, you will need a trimmer and some glue. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get my base 12 by 12 here, and I'm going to cut the barcode out, and I still measure it 12 by at the 12 by 12 and not just cut the line here, because some manufacturers tend to have to be a little bit more generous with their paper, and so therefore I go ahead and I measure, and I'll do the same for this. We'll do all our cutting first so it'll be easier to start putting things down. Okay, and then the strips you will not need. Okay, I'm going to set these aside for now. Next, what you're going to do is get your background pages, and from the bottom, so if your background is directional, so from the bottom you want to turn it to the side, and you want to measure it at 7.5 inches, okay, and then cut at 7.5 inches. Okay, so be the 1 strip, and repeat for the second one as well, because this is going to be 2 pages, not just 1. And then save these for your scrap pile. And then next thing that you're going to do is, remember how I was telling you that I'm going to have some kind of band here? Well, I'm deciding to take this here. I'm going to fussy cut this off, and I'm going to place it right on top of here. If you don't have anything like that, then what you can do is take another type of paper, or if your paper, it has 2 sides. So for example, this, if you would like, go ahead and cut yourself a little strip about 1.5 inches, and then place it on the top. You can use also ribbons or lace instead of that. It's off camera, so you won't stay here and watch me do that, okay? I'll be right back. Okay folks, so now we're going to take our matte paper and we are going to turn it to the side. Now, reason why I'm telling you this is if your paper is directional, then it's important for you to turn it to the side, okay? And from the bottom, you are going to cut it at 5 1/4. Okay, make sure. Oh my God, I think I need to oil this thing. It keeps getting stuck. So at 5 1/4, And then we're going to take this piece and we're going to cut it at 7 1/4. Okay, and this will be the first of your photo mat. Okay, set this aside, put that there. And then this one here is scrap. Now we're going to take this piece here, and still to the side, we are going to cut it at 5.5. Okay, and then turn this to the side, and now this one is going to be cut at 3 3/4 3 times. Hang on a sec. Oh, if you hear my doggy, she knows I'm in the garage right now filming, and she's waiting for me to come out or go back in. Okay, so 3 3/4. Here's our third one. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm shaking the camera too much. Okay, and then this one here, it's going to be a little bit shorter. You do need 4. You know what? Let's work with 3. We've got 3 over here, 3 over here. This actually, leave it like that for now, and let's see what we're going to do with that one. But so far you have 3 photo mats here, and 1. So you've got 3 3.5 by 5.5. Excuse me, 3 3/4 by 5.5, and then you have 1 7 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, we'll set this aside for now. Okay, so we're going to add some glue here. I prefer to use liquid glue because you have time to maneuver it until you get it into place, but you can use the adhesive tape. Okay, let's turn this around. Okay, so now that I've got this part here, what I'm going to do is I like to match it with this. Okay, just because I want to make sure that it's on the same line as this. Okay, so I'll go ahead and add glue to this as well. Okay, and we'll get our second piece here. Down. Carefully lift this. Okay, there we go. All right, and that pretty much matches well. And see how with the liquid glue you can maneuver it down. Now I'm just being a little bit picky about putting it down, but when you have the sheets separately like that, you really can't tell. So let's go ahead now and grab our base, the main one, and then we're going to put this down here, and I'm going to set this aside to do that for the other one. Okay, and we're going to measure about 1/4 of an inch up, fourth and a half inch up. You can eyeball this if you'd like. I'm kind of fine like right there, but I like to give it some kind of border here, and also a nice border here. So let's go from the bottom, go up 1.5 inch. So I'm sorry about that. So up 1.5 inch from the bottom. Okay. All right. There we go. Much better. So you can see everything here, and I'll move this aside and move that aside. Okay. And I'll just mark it just so I know where to glue it down. Okay, so I'm not going to glue so much on top here. I'm just going to glue kind of on the sides here and also on the bottom, but don't go too close. And the reason being is that if you want to put anything like here, let's say that you're designing and I'm not going to do this for this tutorial, but if you have something that you want to put, like say you want to put something underneath here, well, it's not really glued down, and you can still stick things under instead of gluing it to the very edge of the piece that you're gluing down. Okay, so what I'm talking about is this. See, I'm not gluing it. I'll glue it to the edge of the paper here because I know the complete, and so I will glue it to the edge here and here, but over here leave a little bit of wiggle room in case I want to later on stick something underneath it. For example, maybe I want to stick like a flower underneath here, or you know, another doily underneath here, or maybe a trim, you know, just depending on your design. But that's just and not so much for this project itself, but also for like anything that you're gluing down. Okay, there we go. Sorry if I'm shaking the table. Okay, now let's do the same for this side. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I got it pretty much. I got these two bases lined up, and that's great. I'm fine with that. So I'll add glue to this guy here. So I'm putting glue on the left and the right edges, but on the bottom I'm still going to give that leeway, okay? And I'm just not being as generous with the glue. I mean, it's going to stick down, so I'm not so worried about that. All right, sorry about that, but let's glue this guy down. And if it helps you to keep the base, the 12 by 12 in place, go ahead and tape it down. Okay. And again, when this is in the album, on your scrapbook album, you're not going to see too much, like if there's like a small slight difference here, because the ring is going to, you know, keep it apart, so it'll still be fine. I'm going to see if I could try to move this down a little bit further. And if something like this happens and your piece is already glued down and it's not going anywhere, then you can just go ahead and trim that off. Another way of hiding things is to ink the edges. That will work as well. But yeah, so we have now our first and our second page. So now that we have that down, the next thing that we're going to do is add our photo mats. Now here is an idea for you. You can go ahead and ink the edges to give it more of a vintage feel, a little bit of a distressed look. Also, this hides, you see how this particular paper shows the white. You could go ahead and do that, or if you have Sharpies, you can match the Sharpies to the color, or put, like, I'm not going to do it with this color, but you can go ahead and run the Sharpie against the edge of the paper, and that'll work as well. Let's see. Yeah, those are the two that I pretty much know, or just leave it the way it is. If you're okay with it, that is perfectly fine as well. But you see how it gives it a little bit of a vintage feel to that. So I'm going to do that to all of them. And in the meantime, while I'm doing that, I would love to see what you guys like to do. Like do you scrapbook? And if you do, what themes are your favorite themes? What materials you like to use, or what's your favorite tool that you like to use in scrapbooking? I know a lot of us paper crafters, there's various glues out there, and you know, a lot of archival, and I love the 3M Scotch glue, which that's a really great glue, and that one dries pretty fast too. Our glitter glue is another one. It is archival, and that dries fast as well. But what other glues do you prefer using? Like, do you use any of the specialty glues, or when you do scrapbooking, do you use Elmer's glue as well? And if so, yeah, just let me know. Just let me know what your favorite is. And I would love to just hear the difference in what people are using out there as well. Now, the ink that I'm using is actually from Versacolor, and this is 154 in bark. If I have still this in my online store, then I'll go ahead and link that down below. I know I've gotten it in the greens and a silver one, the Delicata version. I've got the silver and gold in that one, and that I like to use a lot on my edges to make it look like, you know, the book edges, they have that nice gold trim, and it just looks very rich and very distinctive. So yeah, that's what I like to use. But anyways, let me know. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do, or excuse me, the next thing that we're going to do is decide where we're going to put our photo mats. Now we can go and start playing around with it. We can do it at an angle, like, actually I prefer to do it that way. I just like that angled look. Or we can go and do it straight. This one will fit the two, but this one will actually give, like if we do it this way, then this will give like writing space over here and over here, or to put more. I kind of like it like one on top of another. And where is that one piece? I'm going to see if that other piece that was left over from this cutting, if that'll work. So I'll be right back. Okay, folks, so here we go. I'm just going to ink the edges just to see first how it's going to look. And if I decide not to use it, then I'll just save it for another project, but I already have the edges inked. I'm not much of a fan of having that white paper show through. Okay, so here's what, let's see, I've decided to do it like this. Well, anyways, there are various ways that you can do this. Maybe I could put these two down like that, and then these two, or these three will go all together. Like that. Let's see. I kind of like it like that. I like it haphazard. I don't like it to be very, like, straight. So, but I just kind of like the way it is. At least all the papers get used except for a small little strip, which I will be fine with. I can use that in another project. But, and then if I didn't like this, like if I think it's too red, I can go ahead and swap it for the other side. And that's the great thing about having a double-sided paper, double-sided decor paper. Okay, let's see. Let's put this here and see where that could fit, because I originally had thought of putting like the doily down this way. Okay, and I still can if I decide to do that. I can go ahead and still put these two on top of each other. That'll look nice like that. Okay, or I can stick the doily here in the middle. Let's see. I'm not a fan of putting that on top of the doily. I'm gonna leave it here, my original. Yeah, that'll look nice like that. Perfect. Okay, I'm fine with that side. And let's see, with this side, I can do it like this. Okay, so when I put down the mat, what I prefer to do is I'll lift it up a little bit and I'll put the mat down like this, okay? Maybe move it. I may still want to decide, like I want to put some more stuff down on that side, but I know that this is the placement that I want for my mat, so I'm going to leave it like that. Now, because the photo is not on here, do not put glue underneath here, because you want to still be able to put the photo underneath this side, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're placing things, when you're placing the photo mats down. Okay. And folks, if you like what you see so far, please give it a thumbs up. I would love for you to see more of what I have to do. And if you do like to see scrapbook page, now I really don't do a lot of scrapbook page. I like to do more like cards and journals and tags. But if you do want to see more scrapbook pages from me, just let me know in the comment section. And if you do like the things that you are seeing, please consider subscribing to my channel. We have a great community here that gives a lot of great advice and a lot of great input, and is just very sweet all around. And I'm very, very blessed, and I'm thrilled and thankful that I do have that. Okay, now it is bubbling up a little bit because we're putting a water-based glue underneath it, but this will soon go down. And if it doesn't, then just go ahead and put this on top, or put books on top of it, and that will help flatten it out. Okay, all right, so the next thing that we'll do is, I haven't done this one, put that down yet. You know what, because I'm gonna put, I'll put just a little bit here, and I'll put it in the middle, and it is going to show through, but we're going to put something on top of it to cover it up. We're just not going to do it just yet, okay? And before my glue dries, I'll see if I can wait. Now, if you decide later on that you want the doily to go over, you have that choice as well, because you didn't glue this down completely, nor did you glue this down completely. So you're giving yourself options before you know which pictures you're going to put. If you already know the pictures that you're going to do, I mean, that you're way ahead of the game. Otherwise, do it this way here, because it'll just give you more options. Okay, so next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my roses that I fussy cut, and if I see any pencil marks that I did as guides to cut, I'll go ahead and erase that now. And another thing also that would be a good idea is for you to ink the edges, because you see how flat that kind of looks, but then this looks a little bit more elevated, gives it more dimension. That's why I just go that extra step, and I'll ink the edges, not to everything, because we didn't ink the edges here on the roses here, or on the green base, but we did with the photo mats. And I see here that I missed a section, so let's do that before I forget. That would look nice there. That would look nice there. I do like the contrast of that. I'm gonna wait a little bit, and let's see. Let's go ahead and ink the rest of these roses. Okay. And here is another suggestion. Like, say for example, I love that rose right there. I just think it's beautiful. But I still have that photo to put inside. So instead, I would just add glue to the one edge here and one edge right there, just so it can stay down, but I'm still able to put a photo there. Now, most likely the photos, that will kind of be like dead space. Like, say, like you have, like, even if you have like one large photo of somebody, the bottom corners and sometimes the top corners, it's background. And so most of the time it's okay to cover the background. So there's an option. I'm not going to glue anything down just yet, but I will, but I do like that. Like, I can put it here, and so that's another thing that I would just glue a little bit over here, and that would overlap that. Or I can do it here or put that there. But yeah, let's, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and finish inking the edges of these roses and start putting everything down off camera, so I'm not boring you guys. And then I will come back and I will show you what I've decided, okay? All right, I'll see you soon. Okay, folks, so far this is the method that I'm going to use. I decided to take the corner piece from here and put it here instead. And so what I'll do is just glue the side here and the top, and that will have enough room to not only put the photo down, but also to put anything else I want down. For example, I'll show you in a minute what I mean. Okay, so I'll have room to put something here, but let's say, for example, I want to put another rose, but I want to put it underneath instead of over. I could go ahead and do it that as well. You see what I mean? Or I could take this and I want to continue the rose going that way, okay? And I like that look. Or here's another one. Go ahead and continue the rose going that way. So I have options. I'm giving myself more options than I feel that I need at the time. And so if I never use it, it's okay. But if I need it, it's there. So there we go. And this one is another one I want to do, and I decided to put that here. So I'm just going to glue this on the side here like that, and I'm putting this rose all the way down this way. Now before my glue dries, okay, so before my glue dries, I'm going to ink this side here, and this is almost like adding a tuck spot to your design, but I'm going to put this underneath instead. I could have put it on top and it would have looked nice as well, but again, I just wanted to show you different ideas that you can do, and it's just not straightforward. You know, there's so much options that you can do, but either one of those options would look nice. And then it also depends on your design as well. So if you're designing, I'm going to put this on the corner here, but again, I'm only doing the side. Okay. And then you notice I'm not going just inside. I'm actually considering putting the outside, or putting this image past the photo mount paper, but it's still before the 12 by 12, so it'll still fit the sleeve. What else? This one oh, you can't see it, sorry. So what I do to this one, this is exactly where I want it to be, okay? And I don't want it to move around too much. I mean, I could move it here, and then I could put this flower on top like that, and it will hold, and it will still look part of the whole design, like you're really not messing it up. But I just wanted to cover all of that green. So what I do is I'll hold it in place. I'll get my glue. I'll lift it up and put it in the back, and then I'll carefully put it down, okay? And I'll do the same for the other side. You don't need to add like an overkill of glue. There we go. So there, and then this, what I can do is I have these foam dots. And so in order to elevate it and give it a little bit more like dimension to it, I will go ahead and add these square dots, and I'll just put 2 on there for now, but keeping in mind also that I could still put my photo underneath it, because this is going to be, first it's going to be elevated, and secondly, when I put this flower down, I didn't put it on the glue on the edges of the flower so that the photo mount could still go down. Okay, so there we go. Oops, let's see, let's get this. I want to make sure. There, perfect. Okay, so now I have room to put my photo down. I have room to put my photo down on this section. So that is good for this side here. Okay. And then on this side, I have these 2 flowers. And so what I can do is either, I can add maybe a flower underneath here. That would look nice like that. Or a flower underneath there, or let's say there. Sometimes if you want to, like you say, for example, you love this particular flower there, but of course it goes over the edge. So what you do is you go ahead and glue it and then cut this off carefully, but you can still use this piece to either continue it on this side or put it somewhere else in your design. You know, I mean, You have a lot of great options. And then if you're designing this particular project to give away, have your extra fussy cuts. Like, don't feel that you need to put down all of your fussy cuts. Have like a small envelope that has some fussy cuts, some trims, some buttons, some, you know, any other thing that you feel that would, you know, help them embellish it and add like a little bit more of their taste to it, you know, or like they said, oh no, well, this picture looks nice and the trim would look even better with it, you know. You can add just like a little bit. Now, don't go too overboard. I guess it just depends on the person if they're designing or not. But these two, I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. These two flowers, that is. And then see if I need it. Now, I have a chipboard that I want to put down. Okay, so this is the chipboard that I was talking about. And this is also from Bo Bunny Press. It is an older one. It came out with this and it's about 8 years ago. So if I can find a link so you can get something like this again, I will put that link down below. If not, then I will see if somebody has something similar to that. Oh, well, here we go. Look, we have these two extras and I can put that on top and have the cute coming out, and not only will that hide that part, but it would just enhance the design as well. So okay, that worked out. All right, let's see. I'm going to do this. Let's see how I want it. Trying to get the most of the flower as much as possible, or the roses as much as possible. Here we go. Okay, and let's put this cute right there. You can also use the 3D foam dots to elevate this as well. But I just think it looks nice like that. Okay, and then also I have these flowers here from Petaloo. Let's see, am I gonna see how beautiful they would look? They would look so beautiful. Look how beautiful, look. I do like that. Okay. And I have some of these Petaloo flowers still on my shop. So if you are interested in that, please go. I'll have the link down below in the video. Okay. But I'm going to hot glue these to the piece itself, and we will be right back. Okay, folks, so there you have it. I just got done hot gluing these flowers down. And these particular flowers didn't need to be hot glued. I could, you know, if you don't have hot glue, that's perfectly fine. You can use regular adhesive glue like this, the liquid glue, and just press it down. Put something a little bit heavy on top of it, like a book or something to keep it down. And you'll also need to wait a few hours for it to completely dry, but it will, once it's down, it will stay down. And then the trims that I was talking to you about, if you wanted to add, you can put trim here, you could put trim on the top like this. Let's see, this is an old or a vintage looking trim there. You could have done that, or I could have done that. And let's see, I've got this trim as well, and this is like one of my favorite trims. But instead of me putting it down, like I could put like maybe a yard of this, and that would be plenty of trim to go around. Like, look how pretty that would look. And then I could put like the flowers on top of that. Okay, that would look really nice. Or I could have just done it on here, or just give like a yard and have like a little like a package that has all these extras that the recipient that you're going to give it to can actually finish up doing after they had put their photos down. Okay, but that's the ideas that I was thinking about. And also buttons, like I've got some beautiful buttons that can go here, or could add. And this one is a little bit sparkly, or I could have just put like two buttons, or you know, just somewhere, but give it to the recipient, and then they can decide what they want to do. Okay, all right folks, well that's it. If you like what you see, again, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like that, let me know in the comment box if you want to see more scrapbook pages as well. And if you do, consider subscribing to my channel as well. I have a lot more tutorials coming out, so I would love for you to join our community. Okay, all right guys, until next time, you have a great day. Bye-bye.